Hello everyone, this is Magbo Gaming here. Unfortunately, I decided to switch back to the hat, Puerto Rico. It's been a little while since I made any videos on my YouTube channel. There's a lot of things going on that's kind of like delaying my game hunting and stuff like that. But I kind of want to make this video to let you guys know what's been going on with the price increases of the Nintendo Switch 1, which I have let you know about these things like almost a month ago now. So yeah, before we get to this topic, if you're wondering where I am, I'm actually in a camper house right now. It's actually within the area. And yeah, it's another place where I'm hanging out and stuff and playing some retro games. Sometimes I don't have the best internet connection here, but it's okay, because sometimes Nintendo does not want you to own anything. And then when I don't have Wi-Fi here, for example, and then I remind myself, okay, yeah, I could still play Nintendo games offline. I have an extra Wii right here, as you can see. And right here, I'm just playing on a little box that I invested in. It's only like 20 bucks. So I could actually have a way to watch YouTube and Netflix on this place, because over there in my main house, the Wi-Fi doesn't reach as far, but I do have a Wi-Fi extender, so I'm able to reach it far right now. Anyways, let's get to the topic on hand. I'm not going to explain too much. Also, if you're wondering where I have been and stuff like that, check out Angry Guy on the description below. I have been making more videos on his channel as of late, and I talk a lot about Nintendo and their issues and all that stuff over there, along with a couple of others as well. So yeah, check out the videos I made for him there, and I think you're going to enjoy. Anyways, so now that the Switch 1 has been increasing in price. I mean, as I'm recording this right now, it's August 2nd, and it's gonna take effect tomorrow on a Sunday for some reason. Like, yeah, they caught you by surprise. Did you? No, they told you about this almost a month ago. I made a video about it, saying that there is a possibility that Nintendo Switch 1 is going to increase in price afterwards, and I made a big rant on it. If you did not saw that video, definitely check the description below as well. That's the video that I'm talking about pretty much. I did tell you about this before. Now, a lot of people are making videos about it right now, saying that it took them by surprise and all that stuff, but really they didn't. They told you about this. They actually warned you almost a month beforehand that in August something's gonna change. We knew about the Donald Trump's tariffs and stuff that's gonna be taking in effect around this month right now in August, and now apparently there's, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking off the top of my head, 25% tariffs on imports from Vietnam, from China. I think Japan has a 50% tariff, if I'm not mistaken, so take it as it is. So honestly, at this point, I'm really frustrated. The fact that these price hikes are actually a thing. Like, you would think that a console that's over 8 years old at this point should be getting a couple of price cuts at this point, at least. Like, it should have been 150 bucks at this point, a brand new Nintendo Switch 1. But nope, instead it's 340 bucks. Yep, 340 smackaroons right there. And the Switch OLED's only $50 less than the Switch 2 at this point. So it's like, what sense does it make for you to even buy a Switch 1 at this point when there's a Switch 2? That's exactly what Nintendo's thinking right now. What Nintendo's really doing at this time, that they increasing the prices but not the Switch 2, because, oh, okay, we see a lot of people still in the Switch 1, so instead of them buying the old consoles or something like that, I know that they're planning to keep it around for a while, for the next 2 to 3 years perhaps, but they want to incentivize the general audience to buy a Switch 2 instead of the Switch 1, because if they had these prices as they are, if they had lower prices, most of the everyday consumers are still gonna go for the lower prices Switch, because, like, why do they want to spend $450 on something if they could spend only a $300 on a Nintendo Switch 1, and it's still being supported today as well? So that's a thing right there. That's a problem, I guess. That's what Nintendo is thinking. But I don't think it really matters, because people normally will like to spend more on the newest gadget regardless. I think this is just greed. And at this point, I'm like, you know, everything is becoming more expensive. Everything is becoming less affordable. I'm not making the type of money like I did back in 2017 or 2018, where I was easily able to buy multiple Switches if I wanted to, but of course I didn't. But I bought 2 Switches, and one of the Switches is right down here. That's a Switch Lite right there. That little Switch Lite is going to be $230. But in reality, if you go to a secondhand market in a pawn shop, that is definitely going to be way cheaper. Like $120, $100 sometimes. Even if you're lucky enough and you get a super deal, $60 I got it one time. A couple Switch Lites, which I resold for $120. So honestly, deals are out there, but I feel that lately I'm having a hard time finding deals on video games within the last several months. So that kind of sucks as well. So yeah, I was just thinking at this point, as long as Nintendo continues with their anti-consumer practices, if they keep this up, I'm done with Nintendo. I'm done buying stuff from Nintendo directly. I do want Shadow Labyrinth. Yes, this game right here. And I'm gonna buy it from a seller on eBay, most likely, or one of those third-party stores I guess they have. Yeah, so honestly, they have the Switch 2 edition of Shadow Labyrinth, but nope, I'm not getting that one. I'm getting the Switch 1 one. It looks so much cleaner, it looks so much simpler, it tells you what it is, and there's not a lot of words like on the bottom of the... I don't think that's a game key card game, but still, oh my god, those game key cards are just going crazy. Like the last Nintendo Direct was game key card, game key card, game key card, game key card across the board through third parties. Yeah, so with all that anti-consumer purchases, the fact that I have to buy a Switch 2 for $450, then I have to buy accessory for it and the online. Well, I already got my online still, but you get the idea. It really sucks that we have to go through all that trouble and all that expense just to play one game on the Switch 2, and then we get mostly game key card stuff where the game's not completely ours, that in the future, like 10 years down the road, when the Switch 2 shop has been pretty much discontinued, I would give it like 10 to 12 years or so, and then they move on to a new thing. Well, those game key cards, unless Nintendo puts in a way that you can still get the games from the game key cards, so you could pretend that it's physical and stuff, I don't know. I think at this point, I'm just going to focus on my back catalog of games that I currently have. You notice that I haven't been buying much games lately. I've been trying to, get back to the hunt, but there's still some personal issues of me getting far away places right now between me and a couple friends of mine. But we do have a trip that we plan to do soon. Another trip. I'm not gonna say the date or anything like that where I'm going, but when it's up, you're gonna know. Sometime in the month of August, you should be able to see that video up, or at least I'll tell you the preview on when it's gonna be up. So I don't want to plan anything right now, because right now a lot of things are uncertain in my life. Been going through quite a bit, but I know that eventually, we could push through this and we could improve our situation. So with the backlog of games I have right now, I'm just gonna enjoy that, and eventually in the future, if I want to play games on Switch 2, there's games I really want to play, okay. But for now, I'm just sticking with Switch 1. I'm not supporting Nintendo whatsoever directly anymore. Like, unless it's an eShop sale or something, I'm not going to support Nintendo directly. Because they don't deserve it. They really don't deserve my money. They don't deserve any of your money. What these guys are doing with the Switch 1 and price increasing instead of like the price drops, like this has never happened before. And I'm also mad at the PS5 staying at $500 as well. So when the tariffs comes in and Sony decides to price hike them, it's gonna be almost $600 or more. So it's like gaming today is unaffordable. And that's a fact. A lot of people agree to it. Gaming is unaffordable. So like at this point, like I'm just gonna ride the storm. I'm just gonna go through my back catalog of games. I have a lot of games I still could play for several years to come. Hopefully I could get back to streaming some of them pretty soon. I'll let you know when. I do have a Power Bomberman stream that I plan to do pretty soon, within the next week or so. So stick to that. And yeah, that Power Bomberman is actually free to download. So if you want to check it, the link in the description below, I'll just leave it there in this video. So if you guys want to play with me whenever I live stream that game, sure, I'll play with you guys. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this. I'm very, very disappointed in Nintendo Nintendo has been going too far with these anti-consumer thing. They're doubling down on the game key cards. They're doubling down on selling Switch 1 stuff, a very old hardware of over 8 years old, increasing the price of old hardware, which makes 0 sense today. They're just greedy. They just want to push you guys to buy the Switch 2 for their inflated prices. And they want you to FOMO into it because they did say on this whole announcement thing, the price update, that they are also possibly gonna try they're gonna probably do further price adjustments. So very likely there's gonna be more price increases on their accessories, on their amiibos, on their alarmos, on their Nintendo Switch 1s and 2s, and anything else on the horizon, maybe even the games as well. So it just doesn't help the economy. It doesn't help the people that wants to do budget gaming. At this point, just go emulate stuff if you want to do budget gaming, because Nintendo ain't the route anymore, guys. Nintendo used to be for the budget players, the one that you have the most fun in. This Wii right there that I have, yep, I have a Wii sticking there. I think I showed you. Very budgety. You could buy this thing right now for like 50 bucks, mod it super easily, and play a lot of the most retro of the retro games out there, like NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance. I think N64, well, with the WAD files and stuff, emulation and stuff like that. I don't promote piracy, but all these games that you could play, Nintendo mostly not selling anymore except for an online subscription. But we like to own the game, so that's basically what it is. We like to own our own copies of physical games and digital games. So it's just, I don't trust Nintendo anymore. That's why I'm not gonna support them directly anymore. Like, you gotta do something pro-consumer again at some point for me to actually support it. But for now, I'm digging through my back catalog. I'm barely gonna be buying games for a while. I will be hunting certain games like I announced recently, but I'm not in any rush to get them. Like, I'm just like, I'm cool with what I have, honestly. And that's all there is to it. Anyways, I'll have more announcements in the community posts within the next few weeks to let you guys know what new updates I have for upcoming videos. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded much lately, but now you know why. Check out Angry Guy in the description below. I've been uploading a lot more of my videos there. Well, the videos I made for his channel, promoting his stuff. And I'll see you all in the next one. Magbo out, and peace. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching this video. Check these videos too that are related to what you just watched. I'm sure you will find some enjoyment there. You can also follow me on Instagram and support the channel via Patreon or buy my Magbo merch. Links below. Hope to see you again soon.